Hello and welcome back to another episode of the MiniBrute Cookbook tutorial series that I'm doing, where we go through the MiniBrute Cookbook and go through the recipes, see which ones we like, see how they flavor. Today's episode is the Woosh Ephect by J.B. Arthis. This is a complex falling effect sound suitable for sound design and experiments. The ADSR envelope is used to modulate the decay time of the AD envelope, which itself is self-modulated to change the curve to a more exponential one. VCO2 and LFO are free to use, and the LFOs are free to use if you want to dig even deeper. So this one's a little bit complicated, a little bit complex, and if you remember from the last one, we were doing something that didn't make a whole lot of sense. It was like hard to figure out what's happening. Well, this preset is going to use what we talked about last time, and you'll be able to kind of hopefully conceptualize it a little bit easier, a little bit better this time around. So let's get into it. As always, we start from as almost always, except for the last one. Let's start from a neutral patch. Nothing going on. No modulation, none of that, none of that, none of that. We're opening the filter, FM, RM, resonance, whoa, Black Betty, Panda lamp. Okay, so, as always, we need some sound, right? So we're going to have a square wave, we're going to have a triangle wave, and we're going to have a little bit of noise. And it sounds like, make sure your volume's up, sounds like this, right? Pretty simple. Okay, so we got some tone going, right? We're not really using VCO2 for much, but you can if you want. Add it into the sound if you want. The point of what's happening is more in the filter. So let's get that going, okay? We're going to have the cutoff all the way down. We're going to have the filter modulation all the way up. We're going to have the resonance, most of the way up. We're going to put some decay. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to put it into bandpass mode. All right, put the decay up, put the sustain up a little bit, put the release up quite a bit. Now you'll notice that the note's still cutting off too quick. Well, that's because of we need to turn the decay up on the AD envelope, right? Now we have some time on it. We're going to put some attack too, so the sound kind of ramps up. But we're going to put them in trigger mode, so it just plays exactly how it's supposed to. And then we're also going to put it into loop mode. Okay, so you can hear the AD envelope going up and down, doing its thing, right? But the sound only really opens up when the filter opens it up. But we're going to do more than just that. First of all, I want to add a little bit of brute factor and turn down the resonance. Just to put a little bit of stank on it, right? Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes and get the patching going, because this is where the patch starts to come alive, right? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the ADSR out, and we're going to go into Attenuator 1. Which is pre-wired for the pressure, but now that we're using the ADSR envelope to control the attenuator, we can take that output and do something else with it. So now the pressure is kind of like doing its own thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the output of this and put it into the decay of the attack decay envelope. You may recognize this from last time. Sort of. Except last time we took the ADSR and went straight into AD. This time we're putting it through the attenuator so we can control how much of the ADSR envelope controls the decay. I'm going to turn the decay down just a little bit. You'll notice that this is slowing down as well. The more I put in, the more it handles that. So if I make this slower, like way slower, or way faster, I mean, right? You can hear that as the decay of the ADSR envelope affects the decay over here, it changes what's happening. So now we can actually kind of see what's happening here, right? Okay, well, we're going to take this one step further. We're going to do the same thing with the attack, but we're going to take the output of the attack decay envelope, run it through the inverter, and make that go into the attack of the AD envelope. you'll notice it already makes the synth makes everything go like way crazy, right? Makes the sound kind of go a little nutty. I'm doing both here. You know what I mean? Well, let's try playing it. See what I'm saying? Pretty cool. So now we can kind of fine tune that, where you can control how quickly the decay comes back down to be able to get back into looping mode. And the higher you set the release, the longer it takes for the decay to drop back to where it needs to be. And then because the ADSR envelope is already still pre-wired to the cutoff, we can adjust how much of that actually is affected by it too, right? Right? Can add a little bit of LFO2 to, or I'm sorry, VCO2 to it if we want. Add some pulse width, metalizer, metal modulation. But mainly what's happening here is the modulation between all of the patched stuff to make this loop kind of cut itself off like that, right? So this is a really fun one. You can do a lot of fun stuff with it, and you can really come up with some interesting sounds and you know, this whooshing kind of thing. It's pretty cool. I really like this one. It is complex and it's really sound designy, but you know, just like anything, experiment, play around, have fun. See what you can come up with, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's going to come up with a slightly different flavor of this, depending on how you want it to work. You know what I mean? So, you know, see what you come up with, have some fun with it, be a good person, and we'll catch you in the next video.